So this video is coming out later than I expect. OBS noise suppression, please. But if I were to show you stuff because timestamps exist in case you just want to skip to the actual run starting, on top of the fact that I need to, well, just set up the run anyway. Yeah, there's my run. There's my single player run of the day, and we will do our best to survive. So as I get Bunny in here, and the game says, "Oh no, I'm not inviting Bunny yet," we can go back while I wait for a thing because yeah. It didn't say that someone is online. But for the most part, I mean, I will say, not that I've played a lot of games where you can invite friends specifically on certain storefronts and whatnot, but yeah, it's gone bad before for other people, but I haven't played a lot of those games. All I know is that Slay the Spire 2 is relatively good at this, at minimum, and I think it's actually great. But hey, as we sit here and I accidentally go to the wrong one, let's get Bunny in here and let's play as, actually, let's do Regent and Necrobinder here, and off we go. We'll be on Ascension 1. I think this counts as climbing too. I definitely know you can unlock APOC, so if you find it easier working with other players, then hey, fun times ahead. But as we get into this run here, I think we're just gonna, yeah, I'm gonna just move on and not commentate as much, unless of course I'm thinking out loud, which is a whole different story. But as the remove with Necrobinder, transform a defend, I think, and let's hope for the best. So what do we have on our plate? Going right up the middle, it seems, so away we go. But yeah, I have to focus on it. And again, if my audio sounds weird, it's because I'm slowly tweaking my audio, just in case things happen, if I can concentrate for a moment on actually doing the right place. But yeah, just slowly getting my bearings, essentially, and if things sound better in the future, then they sound better in the future. If they don't, though, well, that's a different problem. So let's see here. Unleash, that should, oh no, it doesn't. Well, I don't have a defend as Regent anyway, so we are gonna try to defend. At the same time, we can do anything else here. So I think Osti does go down here. No, he doesn't, but 3-7 question mark. Or just take this hit in the face first. Apply vulnerability, and I can't do math. I'm not willing to do math right now, so we're just gonna take this damage in the face. Are we gonna take this damage in the face? 6. Oh, I can. If I had another strike as Regent, I would have been able to. But since we don't, we just double defend here. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong place. Here, though, we should definitely get out. Definitely with the Sovereign Blade, but hey. What do I want to... It seems like I'm doing Sovereign Blade with Regent. As for Osti, I think I'm just going to play an Osti attack deck. I'm not going to work with Doom or Souls, or unless the game just gives me a bunch of them, like I see on my screen. But 8 damage, apply Doom to equal damage, or block. I'm just going to go for some blocks, because I got rid of blocks as the Necrobinder. As for the Regent here... block with grabbing stuff, collision course, more or for minions, and another Sovereign Blade. Yeah, you know what? We'll Sovereign Blade just a little bit more, but let's get a move on. Knockout slugs, and I call them knockout slugs because when you knock one out, the other one gets stunned. But Unleash Grave Warden. We can't exactly rush this. I'm not gonna, I don't have, I mean, I obviously don't know enough to judge, so I won't say, I won't say whether or not I think the enemy's HPs are balanced for co-op, but, I mean, if you saw as one of my first co-op runs, I think my first co-op run was actually just a success because of how, because of what I think it was a double Ironclad run too, so I don't know if that... I mean, if it was a double Silent run, I'm sure things can be easier, but as we knock one out here, we just strike the other one while it's stunned, and off we go. I do think overall you get more out of co-op, but at the same time, you're still at the mercy of RNG, because if one or both players, really, that's at the worst. But if both players run out of cards or don't get the decks that they want, and you're just all over the place, and then you run into a bad elite, yeah, that's pretty much the end of the game. Can we get rid of this, actually? 18 HP, 18, 13. No, I'm barely off, so we do have to block this turn. Necrobinder has another defend, but Regent only has one, so we'll just do that and just be happy with what we get. Now. So, this turn, however, a Sovereign Blade into everything. Hey, fun times ahead. Now, is it actually going to be fun times in the far future? I'm not really getting anything at all, am I? Well, just go for draw. Maybe we get one of the regent scalings where he draws and gets stuff. All players summons and 6 exhaust. All players summon 6. That's odd, Necrobind. That means that would imply there are designs for using 2 of the same character. Unfortunately, we're using the Regent here, unless that adds something for the Regent. But it would be a dead card if you know what? For science, I'm gonna take it just to see what happens. But I'm pretty sure that's implying that you have at least 2 Necrobinders in your party, but yeah, I don't have much else to say about this. If we rush this, can we get out in 2 turns? Doesn't seem like it. All I did was just give the Regent some damage in the face, so I mean, yeah. I was trying to click the end turn, but Falling Star, yeah, we don't have any blocks. Well, we can Glimmer into a block. That would probably help the most. And let's Rotten War, just in case. Rotten War again to upgrade. That way when we draw back, hey, fun times can happen. But we do want to try and give ourselves some measure of defense. Or we can just go all out, you know. Necrobinder does have a lot of HP she's working with at the moment, but hey. As for everything else, Sovereign Blade, yeah, Rotten War to Sovereign Blade, this should be more than enough. I didn't see if I got that 1 card, but hey, stars, Big Bang. I mean, Big Bang does all of the above. I don't know if that's what we particularly want, but if you run a big hybrid deck, maybe it works out. When you play a card that costs 2 or more, gain 3 block. Ethereal, 13 damage, 1 energy attack. If Osti is alive, he deals 9 damage to all enemies, and block Osti dies. Well, considering that Osti is staying at 1 HP or low HP for the moment, sure, and let's go to the left. Now, what do we do here? We didn't really get much else, did we? Well, let's hit the squishy one first then, but we really didn't get anything here. So, did we get a summon, by the way? No. Let's do Legion of Bones and see what actually happens. Okay, we do get the other player does get an Osti. That's interesting to note. But, as for the Regent here, we end turn. And, yeah, just making sure I didn't have anything else to use. Who is getting more strength? The one on the right that has more HP, as funny enough, but we don't really have much we can do at the moment, so let's just go all out and hope for the best. Bone Shards. If one Osti, is it both Ostis? No, it's just the Necrobinders. The one who used the attacks Osti. And all the Necrobinder has left is defends. That's a little unfortunate, but meh. So Osti will actually get... Well, no, it stays dead for the Regent. Well, hey. Meanwhile, so Bodyguard, Summon. Because I really want to Falling Star the other one. Am I going to get to, by the way? Yeah, okay, we do. So we can Falling Star the other one. We use all the energy, soul, just in case we draw something. We did not. So just take the damage here. Because, as I mentioned before, oftentimes, in my experience at least, at the bare minimum... in my bare minimum experience, if one player goes down too early in a fight, or even mid-fight, the other player is just going to likely follow, most likely, because of all the HP they have to chew through. But, as we sit here, yeah, this is, you know, not a bad time to throw the weak potion. Still not going to throw the weak potion. What I will still do is attack and do my best, but... all the Necrobinder has left are blocks anyway, so just sit here and cry. Yeah, we're taking super damage. 35 damage, is that enough? Necrobinder did not draw much. She still did not draw much. Well, this is very, very unfortunate. We actually have to just block this turn. I do not like what I just saw on my turn. This is quite unfortunate. Well, alright, cool story. If I can't get through it this turn, we're gonna have to... I was about to say, we were gonna have to throw the weak potion as the Regent is slowly dying. Parry delay. Yeah, parry. Take parry here. Melancholy. 13 block. Reduce discards cost by energy whenever anyone dies. You know what? Osti is dying quite a lot. And we do have cards that kill off Osti as well. A card, really. But elite we go. Don't be an AoE encounter. Okay, this might actually be worse. I'm not sure. I'm not certain. But we'll do our best. So, Glimmer, Strike. We don't really have much at the moment. I do know I want to throw this. Maybe I should have thrown. No, because we're rushing the boss. Yeah, we're rushing this elite, sorry. On the turn in which we stun it. Because we approximately have 3 turns before pretty much everyone here dies. So, soft enrage. I'll call it soft enrage. So, we're going to go all out. And we're going to do our best. We get a melancholy use here, which is better than defend. So we'll do that as the Necrobinder. But it seems we need intercept, basically. If you don't know, this is your first video for some reason, and or you've never seen the card intercept. Intercept is a multiplayer card which takes block in place of your ally. So essentially, whoever's using intercept takes more damage. But if you're running a block deck like we see the Necrobinder is doing here, then yeah, it's probably going to be to your benefit to kind of take that. So essentially, that card is also serving as a block, but at the same time, we also get melancholy use out of that. Now we need to make sure that we actually survive this turn. So we can defend against this and barely survive, question mark. I didn't want to glimmer, actually. Well, do we have the stars for this? Okay, we do have the stars to Falling Star. And there's the stun. So here's hoping, because I saw that we have 2 strikes and that Osti attack. But the question is, can we burn the boss fast enough in these next 2 turns? Let's find out. It won't be that won't be the case if we unfortunately don't get anything more than strike. In fact, the Necrobinder drew 3 defends, melancholy, and defend. So whatever I just used there. So I'm really sad now. Well, maybe the Necrobinder can get through this, but boy oh boy, is it looking very unlikely. So I hope this. I drew a bunch of defends last turn as Necrobinder. Here's hoping that I drew a bunch of attack cards. So that strike and shards, and yeah, just pain, I guess. Well, here you go, here you go, Regent. We will get out. It's just that didn't need to happen. So yeah. Pillar, Glimmer. Wow, with this, I'm not even going to pick any of these cards. As for the Necrobinder, when you play a soul, summon 1, summon 3x times, add X souls to the draw pile, drain power. Sure, it's not the best. I guess I'm just going to bloat the Necrobinder's deck for the moment. But we sleep as the Regent and then mend as well, because boy oh boy, we are missing HP. Now the Necrobinder is the one who's has less HP, but she has the block, she has the power, so excuse me. And we can only deal a certain number of damage this turn, so we're gonna try to divide the costs here, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be. Yeah, so 4. So all we need to do is a strike, which we do have. Otherwise, after that, defends and stuff. I removed a card. Well, I also transformed a card as the Regent, but I removed a card as the Necrobinder. Feels like I'm still drawing a bunch of defense, but meh. Parry, Venerate, Rotten War. Just take this 16 damage to the face, I guess. I don't think the Necrobinder can do 37 damage, but, you know, we'll just do our best. Why not? Essentially, giving Osti summon there was essentially blocked, because I think defend is 5, right? I don't know at the moment. But Venerate, Star, Glimmer, get nothing. I guess we strike then. As for anything else, we're not going to get out in 4 turns anyway. So, no, you know what? We're going to attack as Necrobinder. Never mind. I'm going to do nothing as Necrobinder. Well, sorry. I guess we just stay here. I didn't need a block. I didn't mean... Yeah, I made a mistake. Well, hey. That into the blade, so we get the most damage, but... Right out... Maybe I should have popped that strength potion. Well... Because all the Necrobinder got... Well, the soul is there, but we got 3 defends and a bodyguard. Can you please draw something else? I'm actually going to drink the skill potion. I thought I didn't need to. I guess we do. So, Defy, blah. You know what? Doom might be good here because we can push it down, and if we're limited by damage, maybe, right? But now I drew 2 dazed as the Necrobinder as well, but that doesn't stop the fact I drew 3 defends on top of it. But anywho, meh. I mean, if we're gonna go down to 1 HP, closest doesn't. Well, all we can do is defend. So who am I kidding? Well, here's hoping for the best. I can give Regent some block, but with how much HP he has, I don't think it's worth it. This does mean we can possibly defeat this enemy next turn, but that depends on what we draw, doesn't it? And based on what I drew, boy oh boy. Okay, close enough. Please tell me you have a strike. I drew a dazed and a defend. Oh my sweet goodness, that was so close to being bad. Well, hey. I wasn't looking at my relics. Whenever you enter a shop, heal, another Big Bang, which, you know what? I thought I was... There's no way we're running a star deck, because all we got is star generation, which, I mean, you do need if you're trying to run a star deck, but I don't know if those are the correct star cards that you want for generating stars. Let's see. Negative Pulse. Poke. Yeah, let's just go with Osti. I've had the most success trying to run Osti attacks over and over and over, but... Upgraded attacks deal extra damage. At the start of combat, draw 2 additional cards. We'll give that to the Regent, which means the Necrobinder is taking the other one. Upgraded attacks deal extra damage. And considering how hurt the Regent is, I think we just squeeze to the left here. Yeah, sure. Maybe we fight some elites, but we're really just trying to heal again. So, Mend Regent once more, like I mean, it's also that I didn't take much block as the Regent, and this question mark was an enemy, but that's fine for the moment. So, Rotten War, Big Bang. Rotten War again, so we can deal more damage, because we have the vulnerability as well. And as for the Necrobinder, yeah, just not a lot of stuff here, so... Strike, Osti stuff. Ow. Big Bang again. Falling Star, Glimmer, because I actually want to attack and not do nothing on my turn. Yeah, I mean, we could have used the Venerate there, but I'm just drawing not anything. So thank goodness we drew actually non-strike attacks as the Necrobinder. With 3 cards of discard, fall into the hand. Death March. For each card drawn during your turn, not at the beginning, I assume. And then Severance, add a souls in 3 separate places, which we'll do. Refine Blade, gain extra energy, Photon Cut, if we need to replace. But at this point, note how none of these are block cards as well. So, I mean, sadness, right? Guess we aren't blocking with the Regent today. Well, the opposite side of that is, theoretically speaking, we're supposed to be able to just go all out. But, hey, what's a life? You know, I think we're going to Sovereign Blade into Glimmer to go cycle through our cards. Here's a Severance, so we can get rid of the Tadpole. But right after that, we'll Big Bangs to get an extra attack in. And as for the Necrobinder, she has 1 energy left. And we're just going to strike. I could have sold there, but let's wait for an actual bad turn. Just in case you get a bad turn. No, we're not guaranteed to get a bad turn, but boy oh boy, can bad things happen. As for the Necrobinder, yeah, Unleash and Strike were the only attacks we had. And in fact, we drew a Defend and got a Poke. So I guess we're doing nothing else but defending this turn as the Necrobinder. Well, sadness happens. Look at how our HP is almost even again. I love myself. I don't. At least we're out this turn. I can't really complain about that. But boy, oh boy, is the Regent taking a little much. I would love to see the stats on how much damage per taken. I mean, you can, actually. You can literally go through each fight once you get your run record and do stuff. Whenever attacks deal damage, they also apply that much Doom. Reperform. I mean, I'm not getting much Asti attacks, so you know what? Let's take a big, shiny Reperform rare card. As for the Regent here, we're about to run into an Elite. I looked on the side. We could have an AoE encounter, which Collision Course would theoretically be better. Well, it would be because we need to deal damage. Yeah, and here is Phantasmal Gardeners. How did I know? We'll parry as much as it's worth, but then we also want to do everything else first. So we definitely can't get rid of on, not especially not if I choose to reperform, which, hey, but the first thing you want to do is deal as much damage as possible. But if we can't, Falling Star is going to be just as good. Refine, yeah, we're just going to go all out here. You know what? Oh, I should have strength potioned myself as well. Well, we can, no, we can't. I mean, I could poke, but what good is it for? And we'll wait for a turn in which, you know what? No, Snecker Oil now. This is overdrawing because we can't draw any more cards, but hey, if we get a 0-cost card, fun times ahead. Otherwise, we're just cycling through so we can get back to our Sovereign Blade. That's really what we're doing here. Lose our Big Bang, but we have the HP, we have the power. Bye, Osti. It's all for the melancholy. We did not draw the thingamajiggy, but we can... Oh my goodness, only 2 attacks here, please! I only drew 2 attacks as the Necrobinder. Never mind, no, I drew Severance. And we'll let that go down. Unfortunately, you have to take the damage, so Doom does not proc like poison, for better or worse. And let's get rid of the one who's charging up. So we just take these attacks in the face, that's what I'm trying to say. We can defend, but we take the attacks in the face as well. As for the Necrobinder... Yeah, just go on the Gardener again. Bone Shards, and I think that was Strike. Do I want to cycle? What else is in the deck? A lot of defense, so you know what? We will Soul, so we can get through these defense. We unfortunately drew Unleash, but it's not like Osti has a bunch of HP anyway. Necrobinder also about to die. But, yeah, maybe... I wonder if whoever was in charge thought that Doom would be too strong if it procced like poison. Unfortunately, because that's not the case, what ends up happening is that you take damage and, well, die. So let's figure out. Definitely, I guess, yeah, definitely a strike. We don't have a single defend anyway. So, yeah, Rotten War, Sovereign Blade. That'll doom out, but again, we're taking damage before that even happens. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. We will block. Might as well. Don't have anything else to do with our lives, but... For the next turn, yeah, for the next turn, we can throw a vulnerability. We don't have any stars as the region anyway, so we won't be able to apply vulnerability anymore for this battle. So, that means, wow, this is a really, really weird turn. Yeah, and as I just mentioned, we need 2 stars to do Falling Star. Refined Blade. I mean, the Necrobinder is going to die if we don't get rid of something, so we might as well just do our best to get rid of something now. We get to poke, we get to do stuff, and we also have a lot of blocks. Is it worth trying to survive here? I guess so. Keep in mind, Osti has 13 HP, because he can't see it. I wonder if you can see it anywhere else. No, you can't. I can hover over Osti. That would, yeah, that's how I would show it, but... Let's just try to get as much damage done as possible. And off we go. I need to just hit the E button sometimes, but I'm doing the best. I'm doing the best with what I got. Rotten War, nothing, and nothing. Well, I think we can get rid. We still want to do this to get the damage in. We at least try to doom this. We didn't, but we sit here, let our Regent's Osti take damage, and the Necrobinder can survive this turn. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she can survive this turn. I don't want Osti to die, so Bone Shards is actually going to be detrimental to me, I believe. Let's drain power, and we sit here and let Osti take the hit for the Necrobinder. Again, I'll state it again for the record, but maybe the reason why Doom doesn't proc like poison is that it would be too strong, but I mean, we'll see what happens. The game is in early access, anything can change. That being said, oh pain. So, we'll just let Doom do its work so we can defend. I guess that's the upside of Doom. If you push something past its Doom threshold, you can block. The problem is, I'm not able to block a lot of the time. Mummified and play a power. Random card is free. Bellows and has the Necrobinder. Shared Fate. To lose 2 strength, enemy loses 2 strength. If Osti is the one dealing damage, that's not so bad. Because again, so lost strength cards, for those who don't know as much Necrobinder, or maybe you forgot or something. Hold on, let me check. Okay, yeah. Spoils of battle. losing strength as the Necrobinder only lowers your strength and not Osti's attack. So if you have Osti attacks, the loss of strength does not hurt as much, is what I'm trying to say. Double rest, by the way. We have the exploding geysers in our face. Waterfall giant. I recognize the icon by now. Anyway. So, spoils into a thing. Let's draw an attack first. Devastate is free. 7 stars is free. Is this actually free? It is. Hey, let me just make sure I can... Do I have a falling star? That would have been nice. It would have been actually real nice, but no. Oh, yeah. We do have vulnerability anyway, so never mind. I lied to myself. Let's see. Bodyguard, attack, drain power. Do everything, I guess. Yeah, do everything. We can actually... I should have actually popped the power card first. 3 energy, draw 2 cards. Start of the turn, applied to 3 doom to self. Never apply debuff to the enemy. They take 9 damage. Lethality. First attack each turn deals additional damage. Let's believe in ourselves. Then we're also going to toss this vulnerability potion just so that the giant has more... is taking more damage. By the way, did I use the thing? No, I didn't. So, let's Sovereign Blade and get our damage down. Basically, bursting this boss down. We're not on Ascension 2, so we're not healing less at the beginning of every act. As for anything else, Refined Blade, Rotten War, Strike, Defend. I mean, literally playing every single card. Reaper Form, by the way. Does that work against this, or does it still explode? I assume it would still explode, right? Well, I guess we're going to find out, because I'm going to use Shared Fate. Or not Shared Fate. I'm going to use the thingamajiggy. And apply power whenever I actually deal damage. So, Parry, Falling Star... So we can at least weaken it again, because it's not like we have any other defense cards as the Regent once more. Which is kind of scaring me at this point, because I realize, as I'm doing this, that, yeah, we're going to explode and we need the block. So 21 on the Steam Eruption. I'm looking at the Necrobinder right now. So yeah, I guess we're just going to go all out and do our best. Because we don't have much defend anyway. In fact, this turn we're not taking damage. So, can I do more? No. Unfortunately, the only cards we have left are block cards. Unless we draw more like this, and then we get a strike in. But, yeah, we still have a bit of a problem. I hope Doom works here, because then that would be a small plus. One instance of Doom working better. But again, we'll find out when we actually push this enemy. Oh my sweet goodness, we have nothing else to do. Well... I guess we do block just so the Regent doesn't die and can still contribute damage. But, as we do an upgraded strike and a bunch of other stuff, oh my goodness, we're off by just a little bit. No! Welp. I meant to say the mic cut me off there. Glitter Stream was a bit early, but we can at least block this turn. That's the upside. Oh my sweet goodness, we get nothing else. We can do the star... But it's only weakened for the turn it's in. And let's see if Doom actually... If Doom does not get rid of this enemy, Doom, obviously, it's not it's not like the trigger, but definitely Poison seems better than Doom at the moment. But now, in before someone says... Again, and I'm not saying like I'm an authority, and that I know a lot about Slay the Spire too, but... Boy, oh boy, pain. Yeah, so let's let Doom do the work, then. We'll actually add some defense for... Regent here by giving him an Aussie. And no, yeah, Poisons is better than Doom. Because at least the enemy doesn't hit you before it dies. That's the main issue that I have. So, I think the Regent just explodes here. We'll try to defend, but there's not really much we can do. And, yeah, let's go. And I could put out a bait title, but I'm not going to do that. So, I think we actually both explode. We don't have any defense either as the Necrobinder. Well, I just realized I could have Severanced here, but let's see if we would have drawn a defend. No, well, we got 3 souls. We would have actually drawn a defend. Actually, we have Melancholy. Thank goodness we have that. Well, bye, Regent. Wait, no? The Doom takes place after? That's so strange. Why does that happen? Well, alright then. If I knew that, I should not have sold. We still drew Melancholy, thankfully, with a bunch of defense, but still. That could have been really, really bad for me. I have no block in this deck. Actually, let's count right now, just so I know. 1, 2, 3... 4. I only have 4 block cards. Yeah, that's not good. I need more block in this deck. Ow! Stop your scream and you'll be fine. Let's see. So, cost of Sovereign Blade now does more. I mean, if we're gonna go a full Unga Bunga attack, might as well. When attacks deal damage, they also apply that much Doom. Again, a second Reaper form. Otherwise, deal damage equal to the enemy's Doom and exhausted. But it doesn't get rid of the Doom. So you know what? Maybe that's better. Reaper form times up. That's a bit of a setup because if we, even just drawing times up before Reaper form or any Doom cards really is basically you lose as much as you're cycling through the decks. Ouroboros, by the way. We're actually gonna look for rest spots here and play it a little safe. 4 enemies in a row though, unless they go through up the middle. Yeah, I guess we're going up through the middle first. So, hey Ouroboros. Let's see, Ouroboros. I did go with the O. And the Necrobinder is talking with the Ouroboros for the second. Ouroboros for the second. 6 random cards. It could be a strike and defend, so no. Luminaire, Divine Right, Divine Destiny. We're not really using all the stars. The only time I ran out of stars is when I purposely did not use the stars, basically. Let's see here. At the start of each combat, summon 5. At the start of turn, summon 2. Or 6 random cards. Well, alright. Luminescence. And the other one, by the way, for the Necrobinder was more potion slots, which, I mean, if I want to gamble more, sure. But let's try to look for some kind of workaround here. So, we did heal all of our HP, thankfully. But, anything else that we're doing? Sovereign Blade Glitter Stream, question mark? Yeah. Maybe I should have done something different. We don't have any vulnerability as Necrobinder, that's why I don't really mind making the Regent act first. But, I should actually think about it at times. So, do I want to block here? Or do I want to deal damage? Let's deal damage first. Who is throwing on the vulnerability at the beginning of the turn? It is the Regent with the Bag of Marbles Relic. Big Bang. I think I already used Sovereign Blade, right? It would show in your... Yeah, it shows in the discard pile. So, instead, we're going to Glimmer. We want the thingamajig. We want the Regent to use Parry first. Or Falling Star first. I'm going crazy. And because we're not taking any damage, just go all out. If possible. Refined Blade, Parry, might as well. Because we might draw Sovereign Blade next turn, and when we're taking a bunch of damage, as we will in a hot moment. Yeah. We can Shared Fate. Do I want to? Yeah, sure. Soul, just in case. Otherwise, we could just use Legion of Bone. In fact, I should not have done that, because now we have Reaper form. We do have to knock this out of its block first, but still. There's Sword Sage, and okay, we didn't draw the thingamajiggy, so we still didn't draw it, so away we go. I don't want to take this damage in the face, but if no one else has anything to do, then I guess, right? Yeah. So Drain, Defense. Actually, no, yeah, all we have are Defense. We have a Bone Shard, but obviously I don't want to get rid of Osti when Osti has 19 HP that it can use to tank for us. And we just do anything else, really. Ow! So, we still did not draw Sovereign Blade. That makes me really sad. What were we drawing next turn? So if we draw Sovereign Blade, yeah, I guess we can Falling Star. Will depend, though. We don't get anything else, by the way. If I use Glimmer and draw Sovereign Blade, I'm gonna really hate myself. So, just do what we can. What did I just use there? What did I just use there? Why did it just go bye-bye? Strike, so, yeah. Nah, I don't know. Maybe it was Venerate. I'm going absolutely insane, but... poke, deal as much damage. Maybe we can actually get rid of it. Am I hoping for too much? 2 strikes and an Unleash. So Unleash is 22 because of all that. Okay, yeah, we can. So we can actually stun it this turn. Do I go all out? I would have to use Bone Shards. Nah. Yeah, nah. And yeah, we just get rid of it. 46 damage times 2. Bulwark, 40-10, yeah, that's probably what we're looking for if we don't get Sovereign Blade in the same turn. Otherwise, yeah, because the thing about Bulwark is that if we don't have the energy, you have to choose between Sovereign Blade or Bulwark. Although, you do retain Sovereign Blade, so you know what? Yeah, we're trying to run Sovereign Blade. Let's pick that. No Escape upgraded. 15 Doom plus the 5 Doom for every 10 Doom already on the enemy. You know what? Guess we're playing a Doom deck. Or trying. Hybrid Osti attacks. Upgrade starting hand, gain 2 strength. Why? I hate this event. I'll pay a little bit of gold because we don't have a merchant anywhere. So, I mean, I'll just pay a little bit of gold to avoid the dazed because we have gold, but time for some bug fights. Well, Big Bang Refined Blade, question mark? Another Big Bang. Would have liked a Bulwark, but we don't get that. We have a lot on our plate. We don't have Falling Star, but we'll do our best. We can actually... Luminescence. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll block... do we both have to block the Rock Bullbug? I guess we're going to find out. Spoils of Battle as well. We're fine. And yeah, let's just... If we didn't draw a lot of attacks, I'm going to be quite sad. Also, Doom is going to be interesting here. Yeah, well... No Escape Time's Up gives us 30 damage on demand? Yeah. Or 27, sorry, but you get the point. And so we're fighting the crab as well. And okay, only one of us has to block. I don't know if Osti counts as a block, but we didn't draw any attacks as the Regent anyway, so you know what? We're just going to forage and get resources, but the Necrobinder, on the other hand, does have blocks. Let's not soul into anything. I don't feel comfortable. And question mark. Because the problem here is that if I draw Sovereign Blade, I won't have enough energy for it anyway. So instead, we're just going to go all out. Maybe we don't have to deal with the Doom, because as I said, Doom requires the enemy to slap you in the face. And the other parts of the times, yeah, an enemy might not be attacking, but meh. And now that I see that there is a card that deals Doom damage, but then that relies on getting that card with some kind of Doom. Osti deals 11 damage and applies 2 vulnerable to all enemies. Yeah, you know what? AoE time. I have a feeling. Glimmer again. Conqueror. But you have to spend energy for it. But we do have energy, so hopefully that goes well for us. And these Chompers, on the other hand, so no status effects, just raw damage, unless you just force it with, like, a bunch of debuffs. But that's another problem entirely. So, let's try to rush one of these, if possible. Might as well Falling Star for extra damage, but right after that... What does a Necrobinder get here? Time's Up Shared Fate, which we can't apply, so... We can deal damage, but at what cost? And we might as well AoE and get more damage overall. Ow! Oh! OBS doesn't want to pick... The microphone doesn't want to pick me up going, ow! Big Bang first. Might as well conquer this turn only. So big RNG. But maybe I Glimmer? Yeah, just to cycle cards. Don't know if that's the smartest decision, but I'm doing it. And then we double strike on the one chopper. As for everything else, does Doom count here? I guess that means I should just be Osti attacking, if possible. I mean, Osti's dead anyway. The question is whether or not I want to take more damage. I'm gonna go for damage, technically, but... We're also getting dazed. Nice to know. But Sword Sage, Big Bang. Yeah, Sword Sage, Big Bang. Spoils. Do I Glitter Stream here? Yeah, I guess we do. Hoping that we get... Because if we draw Sovereign Blade, then we might as well just block this turn, is the thought. Now, if it's not enough damage, well... I guess that's something for me to think about, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm going to assume I'm drawing Sovereign Blade next turn, so I'm not going to attack. And if I don't draw Sovereign Blade next turn, well, then we have a problem on our hands, which we kind of do. Well, Bulwark, Chomper. Thankfully, these enemies aren't scaling their strength, so I don't need to worry as much, but still a bit iffy. So, yeah. Yeah, this is painful. I'm going to reperform anyway. Might as well just do some science. I'm pretty sure Doom counts as a debuff, so this artifact is going to block it. And it's not like there's a bunch of artifact enemies in the game, but nice to know that I feel like artifact shuts down a big part of particularly Doom decks, but not just the whole Necro, because obviously Necrobinder has other kinds of decks you can play if you're not just running hybrid. Also, my Sovereign Blade costs more, so I can't even make use of Glimmer Drawing into Sovereign Blade, so just block. And if Osty's gonna die, we just let Osty die anyway. Alright, well, the other side of this is that we just sit here and hit the first enemy. With all these dazed on the other hand, yeah, so we draw Sovereign Blade, so that will get rid of the one in the back. What happens afterward, though? Well, hey. We didn't draw a single attack. Okay, we have Soul. Please draw an attack, for the love of everything. No. We get Doom. I can no escape into Time's Up, right? Okay, good. Didn't get to run my experiment, but if Doom does go through, that's one small plus and the bunch of negatives we've seen in this video. And it could just be me. It is likely just me playing this deck, but hey. Our decks are getting a bit big. Glimpse Beyond. All players add 3 souls into the draw pile. You know what? Sure. Just so the Regent can try and draw into what he needs. Do I dare? Do I have another rest spot after this? If I take this safe route. We pretty much only have one battle. Unless this question mark room right after is an enemy in itself. But otherwise, I'm going to be confident in Smith instead. We need something more than what we have. It's probably going to be a power card. Yeah, 1 energy Sword Sage, innate Big Bang, which is interesting. Probably Sword Sage, though. The energy decrease is, it's hard to turn down an energy decrease unless it's on a card that, for some reason, just really doesn't work with what you're working with. Anyway, Reaper Form, retain. Not innate? I'm looking at the upgrade for Necrobinder's Reaper Form card, that whenever an attack deals, I think it's unblocked damage as well? Or only unblocked damage? It doesn't say unblocked. Well, anywho. Why is it retained and not innate? You would think that using Reaper Form first was better than retaining it in your hand, unless there's a reason to hold on to it? Again, to restate again, Reaper Form's upgrade is that the card becomes retainable, with an effect that I would assume you want to use immediately. Again, in before someone thought that that was too powerful. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but yeah. And I'm sure, again, I'm just going through, I don't have like over 100 hours in Slay the Spire 2 yet, so someone could come in and just say, hey, Jordan, hey, this is what Doom's good for, but from what I see, ugh. Cards containing strike deal additional 3 damage with 1 dexterity. Oh, you know what? You know who's blocking? You know who's not blocking? Regent. Therefore, we do the opposite. It's important to note the difference there because it's not that I didn't want block as Regent, it's that I ended up never picking it up. So, Sword Sage immediately. It's the Infested Prism. Let's weaken it as well. Parry. We do want to go for a block if possible. Which I guess will be the free defend, but I could also Luminescence, but since we might have a thingy-majiggy, yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Glimpse Beyond. Time's up for no reason. Also apply vulnerability. You know what? Let's poke it, might as well. But, yeah, defend, and that's literally all we get. That's literally all we get. Next attack deals double damage. Is that, can I throw that? I can throw that on someone else. I can. So, to note that, we didn't get much, though, but, we'll soul. You know, we'll soul once here. That way we can bulwark, get energy, draw a card. Is this going to be what's best? Can I refine this blade first? I can. Do I go? Yeah, let's just do it now. So note, I'm leaving Sovereign Blade hovered over, but we're going to toss this Gigantification Potion on the Regent. And now we deal nearly 300 damage. So, fun times. We don't need a block, so I'll soul again. Big Bang, draw a card, soul again. Rotten War Strike, and let's be happy with what we've got. I think I've done some good this turn. Reaper form as well, but I think it's... what are we drawing next? Could be in any number of things. Do we have enough attacks? Severance, Unleash, Drain Power. Yeah, you know what? That's enough for me to say, hey, let's try out Reaper form. Alternatively, we could also throw this Retain on ourselves, so... Also, rip Necrobinder HP, but it's fine for the moment. So, here, I guess we just do as much damage as possible. First, want to get rid of the block, just in case. Not that we got much else. Or, we Liquid Memories the Sovereign Blade. Nope. I thought that was free. It was not free. I'm going crazy. Well, we retain it for next turn. The problem is we're taking 27 damage as the Regent. Unless we get a thingy-majiggy, which we don't. So, we'll do this to lower its strength, that we're only taking 21 damage, but... Thinking, let's actually give, quote-unquote, give some block to the Regent, and that's all of our energy for the day. Ow! Time's up. Do I care about that? I'm not sure if I do, but we just need to deal damage anyway, so... We drew Melancholy, and we don't have anything for the thingy-majiggy, so... Whoops. Are strikes not working? Was that me? Am I going crazy as strikes don't seem to be working? Well, anywho. I thought I was gonna think about something. We have Sovereign Blade, so I don't know why I was just debating my turn so much, but... Book of 5 Rings, Osti, Soul, or Extra Energy Wisp. We're gonna poke more. Bundle of Joy, RNG, or On Demand, Vulnerable, more vulnerable and weak. You know what? If we're dealing with RNG now, and especially since we don't have any block, did I ever get a block card after that, or did I just skip out on a block card? Anyway, here's our first merchant of the actual run. Hi. And we finally do get a block. It costs stars, but you know what? We don't have many times. Otherwise, Rally, Intercept. Well, Intercept really needed to go on the Necrobinder, even though she is dying right now. But let's find out. Borrowed time, 3 Doom for 1 energy, which we don't have any. I mean, we're about to enter a rest stop, but still. Friendship, because we're running Osti attacks. Otherwise... Do I grab this piece of meat? That will allow me to not remove a card, but it is worth it, I think. Yeah, so you know what? We're going to grab piece of meat. This is all Necrobinder stuff, by the way. After that, though, at start of each combat, 1 of 3, but it's not free. So let's actually grab some block for both characters. We'll throw Reflect in case we need it, but let's also get rid of another card. And 4 plating. You know what? Better than nothing, and let's grab a colorless potion. So, rest stop it is. We'll immediately fight an elite. So I'm going to take the difference here, unless there's nothing to upgrade. I'm pretty sure there is. If Big Bang isn't already anything. 4 randomless color cards. I just realized that these costs aren't free. So, whoops. Well... I guess Big Bang, then. Choose a shiny rare card and be happy with our lives. And here's the AoE encounter I was looking for. So, let's find out. Another player gains 3 energy, probably that. All enemies equal to damage dealt. If that would be nice if I can either apply vulnerability, which I don't know if I can. I cannot. Unless we draw it. I'm going to pick Omni Slice, actually. So we're going to Big Bang here. Hope that we get something. I might as well parry. Don't we have another Big Bang? We do. We didn't get anything else. Well, fun times ahead. We can burn all this energy for the sake of blocking as much damage as possible. But we can also conquer against this enemy. And we'll see what else we want to do. Also, power card becomes free. Yeah, after using a power card, a random card becomes free to play. Okay, good. Yeah, might as well Omni Slice. Bulwark to increase Sovereign Blade's damage. Do we have anything else, by the way? No. So, Legion of Bone. High 5. High 5. But we can also reperform. Might as well, I mean, I guess. And then Sovereign Blade. We can also rally if we so choose, but I think we have enough block. Yeah, we have enough. Between that and Osti's HP, the Necrobinder will be fine. So, that leaves other enemies on the field, in which I don't have any more attack cards, so... yeah, sure. Off we go. On a separate tangent note, as I go through the rest of this encounter, it's not like I'm asking everything to become broken, because that wasn't the case in Slay the Spire 1. And in fact, with enough strategy, you can win like a good majority of your Slay the Spire 2 1 runs on Ascension 20. But obviously, you need to know what you're doing in the game, or have a good plan, or be good at planning when you run into situations. What am I doing here, by the way? Do I dare use Bundle of Joy? You know what? Give another player 5 strength. If we have a lot of pokes, that would have been fine. We do have Master of Strategy. If we draw another poke, it would be great. We did not. So, whenever you gain block on your turn, other players gain that much block. Although we're not blocking this turn, so... we already have vulnerability. Do I care about other stuff? So, using Coordinate would grant pretty much 15 extra damage if I go full on attack. Yeah, you know what? If I attack. Is that enough? Am I going crazy? That would be about 21 damage on one Decimillipede. 21 plus 27. Yeah, it's not enough. I'm pretty sure. Now, the real question is whether or not that damage will amount to a 2-turn at least, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we're gonna coordinate here. I almost gave it to Osti, by the way. Actually, does that apply to Osti? Guess we're gonna find out. No, it does not. So, actually, I'm dealing less damage than I think. But we do have no escape, so it will doom itself out. But again, we have to get slapped in the face for it. So, sure, I guess. Ow! One recovers, but as long as we get out, hopefully everything's okay. We can reflect. Glimmer is free because we use the power card. Get rid of a strike. We'll do our best. We'll do our best. Maybe I should have just used dexterity, but it's too late. We can block everything, but that's not my exact problem. So, to all enemies apply and gain 10 block. Maybe, sure. But let's unleash first and poke as well. And we barely survive. Yeah, well, not barely. We do survive, but the problem is the other enemies are... the other Decimillipede part is getting back up. So, give me more pokes, please? No? Just sadness? All right. Well, this is a turn. I can get rid of this one again. The problem after this is what happens when we still don't do enough damage. Don't have enough to reflect. Do have enough to coordinate. Which will... we can get rid of a Decimillipede. Do I want to do that? Yeah. Well, through Doom, but you get the point. And they'll both Doom itself out, but first the Necrobinder will die for it. So, hey. My microphone did suppress my noise. Ah! Hey, nice Omni share, by the way. Coming back way late, man. Cloak of Stars, Furnace, Radiate. You know what? We're trying for Sovereign Blade, Soul Blade. Sovereign Blade. Soul Storm for each soul in exhaust. It's not a bad card. It's a rare card, so it's shiny if anything. Put 3 cards from this card pile into the hand. Touch. Enemy loses 8 strength. Nah, Soul Storm. We are using some souls. It's not a lot of damage, but it's enough. For now. And that's right, we're fighting crabs, so we do need to heal. Start of each combat, discard any non. Okay, just in case we get a bad draw. Because we're running Sovereign Blade, so let's give whatever's left to the Necrobinder. That was the Jutsu. It's gonna activate anyway, but so the real question, I guess that's a dead relic on or it's a worse relic on a multiplayer, unless it's not. Am I going crazy? Juzu bracelet, enemy encounter, regular enemy combat, no longer in question mark. So basically, I mean, everyone was going to benefit from it anyway. So someone is basically missing out on that relic chest. But I digress. Let's both rest here, by the way. Is that the correct phrase? I digress? I'm going crazy. My mind is not working as much. But let's see here. So Conqueror, no, probably not, right? This seems to be a turn where we're setting up Sovereign Blade. So let's cycle all of the cards in which are not going to play into that. And so there's Furnace. That's a power card. It makes something else free. We also get Parry. Makes something else free as well. And yeah. Sovereign Blade deals double damage. We can also Big Bang. Let me take a quick look at what the thingamajiggy has. It should have used Glimpse Beyond first. Double Poke and a Shared Fate. Dexterity. There's a Strength Potion for the... Yeah, you know what? We're going to just try to rush a Claw down. 400 damage is a lot to go through, but we can try our best. And Falling Star to weaken. We can weaken one. In fact, we actually want to turn around. So we'll Falling Star the one that's... Because I want to hit the one that's doing weak damage at the moment, if I recall my own ordering of things. Also, each character is taking damage separately, so just to note, the Necrobinder is taking 13 damage from the left claw, but you notice that I turned around as the Regent is taking 9 damage, so yeah. Can we do more? I'm gonna Conquer first. No, let's just focus on the hand on the left that's dealing more damage at the moment. So, Wrought in War twice, question mark. So we can deal as much damage as possible, and then... Oh, I thought it was 2 attacks. I'm going crazy. I didn't use that yet. Well, either way, yeah, let's actually have this claw do no damage, and then turn around and deal poke. Actually, I should have poked first, but it's too late. So, yeah. Whee! And yeah, we have souls to use, we have Big Bang, we have a whole lot of fun times ahead. But not really as much as I thought. So, what do we do this turn? All players summon 6, Severance, Soul again. Well, might as well Soul. There's Soul Storm, but let's Severance something first. We have to turn around immediately. Don't want to take the risk that I don't have anything else to use. Even though we did have Soul Storm, but yeah, we're just gonna sit here. Didn't add any block, but that's what the Regent can do for this turn. Rally into Glitter String. No, rally into something else. Probably Refined Blade. Unfortunately, we don't turn around for this, but we should be good enough. Unless can I throw the Fire Potion and turn around? We can. So fun times. I keep saying fun times, but sometimes it's not fun. Austin, no! So Sword Sage Bulwark, right? Because I don't want... Okay, we can draw these 2 cards first. We can also Reflect, question mark? Let's make a card free first. Oh, it was a strike. Well, I'm not going to be totally mad, but man... And then we'll Bulwark times up. No Doom. No Doom at all, actually. Which makes me quite sad. There's Reaper Form, by the way. Bone Shards. Austin doesn't have a lot of HP. And all we can do afterward is defend. And in fact, doing AoE attacks doesn't turn us around, so... We take this 3 damage, or 2 damage, whatever it is. We do, however, want to turn around and hit this claw, but the problem is that we're not getting much done this turn. So Soul did not get anything, don't even want to Glimmer, because if we draw Sovereign Blade, sadness happens. So Spoils of Battle, might as well have our Sovereign Blade do more, turn around. I think I just killed the Regent. I didn't give him any block, whoops. Well, Not that I don't think we could have survived another turn. So actually, we're having a different problem on our hands. Master of Strategy, might as well try to get something, and the answer is no. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll do our best, but we literally don't have anything we can do. We had one defend card in that whole hand on a character that actually has more defense than the Regent, which the Regent probably only had 5. So, if I were to change my fate, where would I have changed it? It would probably have been... This is really sad as well because I don't have any... I literally don't have any way to turn around other than time's up, so that's interesting to see. It would have been basically not taking cards in the middle because I'm pretty sure I took a few star cards as the Regent, and for the Necrobinder we did take a bunch of other stuff, but what would be better, Souls or Doom? I don't think Doom is as helpful here because unfortunately Doom does not scale with the enemy scaling HP unless there's a... Yeah, I think that's... Am I saying that correctly? And I hope that makes sense. So the amount of Doom that the Necrobinder can apply, the assumption is that other players are helping you deal damage, which pushes you kind of to the same Doom threshold. So I guess maybe it's okay as is, but... I'm saying this as if I'm dead. I likely am dead here, but the point I'm trying to make is that I'm trying to figure out how Doom would work in a multiplayer setting. Yeah, I'm really trying to figure it out. Well, either way, can't let Austie die, because Austie is literally our only way we're blocking damage. So... And we don't have any other potions as the Necrobinder. I can't show you what's happening at the moment, but I can at least hover over Austie to show you Austie's HP. But, yeah, there's not much happening with our lives. In fact, we didn't draw a single block. I could soul here, but, yeah, you know what? Just to try to see if we can block, we drew block, we drew poke, strike, soulstorm, and defend. Well, sure, we'll do our best, but I promise you, 37 damage is not what we can take. Whee! And off we go. So yeah, without further ado, that's the end of that run. And if I show you we'll stop at the status screen, why not? But at this point, the end screen should already be up, unless I want to show you the actual run history. But yeah, if you hover over these icons, as the end screen should be coming up in a few seconds, then yeah, you can see basically what happened in the turn, or in the encounter or floor that you were on. So more accurate to say the floor. But yeah, without further ado, not really much else to say. If you have any advice, comments, criticisms, questions, concerns about the video or otherwise, then yeah, feel free to make yourself known, unless you're just a robot or you're doing something really weird. But yeah, without further ado, not really much else to say. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!